Welcome to Rock My Branding, where we take a short and sweet look at branded podcasts. This time around, Coca Cola. An internal podcast made for the employees, by the employees, and made available for everyone. That is what Total Refresh from Coca Cola North America is about. Who doesn't know about Coca Cola? The refreshing drink invented in the late 19th century has spread out all over the world. They employ more than 700,000 people and serve 1.9 billion Cokes per day. The podcast is hosted by Catherine Cherry and Jamal Booker. Both have been employees of Coca-Cola for decades, and they are looking at what the future holds for the company as they venture into a whole new spectrum of different beverages, from their well-known sparkling drinks to coffee, juices, and waters. In each episode, they sit down with a leader from the Coca-Cola North America to understand how they will shift to a total beverage strategy and how each leader sees their role and the role of the employees in this. The interviews are very personal. The leader opens up about their philosophies and their private life. You really get a sense of who these people are and where they come from. The stories they tell are inspirational and interesting. Now, why did I take this podcast for this week's episode? First off, there's only one season. The podcast started in 2019 and there hasn't been a new episode published since July 2019, which is a shame actually, because this podcast has potential to become something great but hasn't been given a chance. People crave authenticity and honesty, and this can only be achieved through openness. There are a few ways to create podcasts that do just that. You can create an internal podcast for your employees and partners where you inform your employees in an engaging way, where you can standardize onboarding of new employees and train and educate established employees. And most importantly, share stories from your people by your people. If you are looking to attract more customers and clients, a branded podcast is the way to go, and you can incorporate the same principle of honesty and authenticity by giving them a peek into your operation. Share the stories of the people that are involved in the process. Share interesting ideas and tips to spark the interest of the listener that wants to learn. Total Refresh has combined these two and created a unique way of sharing information with not only employees but also with the general public. This idea has potential, and I have no idea why they did not pursue this further. An educated guess is that with all podcasts, you need to have your bases down. You need to make sure you have enough content to keep creating episode after episode. You need to niche down, but keep room for spreading out a bit. I can imagine, for example, if the goal was to interview all leaders of Coca-Cola North America, they might be done after one season and are left with nothing else to say. If they had given the podcast another twist, interviewed not only leaders but also employees at different levels, perhaps some episodes about the environmental impact and how Coca-Cola is going forward with being more sustainable, it would have a lot more content possibilities. In any case, the idea of bringing an internal podcast to the public is clever and unique. The audience applaud the relatability of leaders and find it interesting, so they definitely achieve their goal with this podcast.